In a storm-soaked small town, Emma finds her boyfriend's body, seconds before police arrive and accuse her of murder, but the real killer is hiding in plain sight. Wearing a detective's badge, rain was falling sideways the night I found the body, or maybe it only felt that way because the wind kept tugging at my coat, pushing me off balance as I ran down Hawthorne Lane. The storm sirens were howling again, and the whole town of Maplewick, Pennsylvania, felt like it was bracing for something worse than weather. I was late coming home from my shift at the diner again, and thinking about nothing more ominous than the blister on my heel when my neighbor's porch light flickered on. Then I saw it, a body, lying face down in Mrs. Hargrove's driveway. For a moment I froze. Maplewick is the kind of town where people still leave their doors unlocked, and kids ride bikes after dark. Bodies on driveways don't happen here. I should have screamed or run, but instead I walked toward it, almost against my will. Hello. My voice cracked. Sir, ma'am. No answer. 5 feet away I recognized the jacket. Dark green canvas, frayed cuffs, a missing button. My stomach dropped. It was my boyfriend, Evan. I fell to my knees, rain splashing up around me. Evan. Evan, get up. What happened? His skin was cold, too cold, and when I rolled him over, my hand slipped on something warm and wet. Blood. My throat tightened as the world tilted sideways. I heard nothing but the pounding of the storm and my own heartbeat hammering inside my skull. Someone had killed him, and then, before I could even process it, I saw flashing blue lights through the sheets of rain. The police were already here, but not because someone found Evan, because someone had called them about me. -2, the questions begin. Officer Halbrook kept his flashlight pointed directly at my face, which felt unfair. Considering the rain was already blinding me, Miss Winters, he said, how did you come to be at the scene? I was walking home. I live 3 houses down. My voice trembled. Please, you know me. He didn't lower the flashlight. And the victim? You know him as well. He's my boyfriend, I whispered. Halbrook's jaw twitched. So you admit to having a relationship with the deceased. Admit? What? Why does that sound like? But before I could finish, someone stepped closer, umbrella in hand. Detective Clarissa Dale. I'd seen her around, new transfer from Pittsburgh, sharp eyes, sharper cheekbones, professional smile, and despite the storm, she looked annoyingly calm. Miss Winters, she said, her voice smooth, I'm truly sorry for your loss, but we have to get you out of the rain. Please come with me. Her tone was gentle, her eyes were not. -3, the interrogation. The station smelled like burnt coffee and old carpet. Detective Dale guided me into a small interview room where a buzzing fluorescent light flickered like it was dying. Sit, please. I did. She sat across from me, opened a notebook, clicked her pen, and began. How long have you and Evan been dating? 2 years. 2 years of him dragging me out of my own head. 2 years of saving me from myself. But I didn't say that. And how would you characterize your relationship recently? Good, I said quickly. Too quickly, maybe. Detective Dale's pen hovered. Any arguments lately? Nothing major. Her eyebrow lifted. She knew something. What are you implying? I snapped. Motive often begins with conflict. Motive. Ice rippled through me. Are you saying you think I did this? She didn't answer. Instead, she slid a small evidence bag onto the table. Inside was my necklace, silver chain, crescent moon pendant. Evan gave it to me last Christmas. It was covered in blood. We found this under the body. She said softly, would you like to explain how your necklace ended up at the crime scene? I stared at it, speechless, breathless. The room spun. I didn't kill him. But in that moment, I knew without a doubt they thought I had, and someone wanted them to. -4, the town turns cold. They released me the next morning, but only because they didn't have enough evidence yet. The word clung to me like damp clothes. By noon, the news spread across Maplewick faster than wildfire. At the grocery store, people stared. At the diner, my boss, Nancy, pulled me aside. Sweetheart, maybe you should take a few days off. But I didn't, I know. She squeezed my arm, but people talk. Yes, they do, and the story they were telling wasn't the truth. When I got home that night, I found an envelope taped to my door. No stamp, no name. Inside was a single sheet of paper. Don't talk to the police or you're next. My hands shook as I read it. Whoever killed Evan, they were watching me. -5, the clue Evan left behind rain again. Maplewood only has 2 seasons, summer and storms were winning. I hadn't slept in 2 days. I kept replaying everything. Evan in the driveway, the blood, the necklace, the police. None of it made sense. Unless Evan had known something, had been involved in something. I hated thinking that, but I also knew Evan. He helped people, even when he shouldn't. So I went to his apartment. The key still worked. Inside, everything looked normal. Too normal. Evan wasn't neat. He lived in organized chaos, but the place had been scrubbed clean, as if someone had erased him. Then I noticed something off. The framed photo on his bookshelf. It was crooked. Evan never touched that frame. It held a photo of his parents. I lifted it. Behind it, taped to the back, was a folded piece of paper. My heart hammered as I opened it. It was a receipt for a storage unit, paid 2 days before he died. Unit 14B, my breath caught. This was it. Whatever Evan died for was in that storage unit. -6, the storage unit, the self. Storage facility sat at the edge of town, near the railroad tracks. The attendant didn't bother looking up from his phone when I walked in. Unit 14B. He mumbled, "Go ahead." 14B was in the far corner. The lock clicked open with a heavy metallic clunk. Inside, my phone flashlight revealed boxes, dozens of them, as if Evan had emptied out half a house. I opened the nearest one. Documents, bank statements, property deeds, tax records, names I didn't recognize, and one name I did. Margaret Hargrove, my elderly neighbor, the same driveway where Evan was found. Why would Evan have her financial documents? I dug deeper. There were notarized forms, wills, medical papers, all signed, all stamped, all forged. My pulse pounded. Evan had uncovered a fraud ring. Someone was stealing from elderly residents. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, property, savings, and Evan had found out. That's why he was killed. Thunder shook the roof. Lightning illuminated something in the back corner. Another box, smaller, taped shut 3 times over. I tore it open. Inside was a blood-stained hammer. I froze because taped to the handle was a note. "You're next, Emma." Someone had planted not just evidence against me, they wanted me dead, too. And then I heard the storage unit door slam shut behind me. -7 trapped. I spun around, but the door was locked from the outside. No, no, no. A shadow moved under the door crack. Slow, deliberate, then a voice, muffled but unmistakable. "You should have stayed quiet, Emma." It was her, Detective Clarissa Dale. My blood ran cold. "You framed me." I hissed. "You made it easy." She said, "You were emotional. You had motive, and you're forgettable enough for a jury to believe anything. Why kill Evan?" A pause. Then, he found out about the transfers. Margaret needed someone to help her manage her finances. A laugh, sharp, cruel, and I needed a retirement plan. My breath caught. "So you were stealing from elderly residents?" "Yes," she said casually, and Evan stuck his nose where it didn't belong. "Just like you." My heartbeat thundered in my ears. She was going to kill me and stage it as suicide. "Goodbye, Emma." I heard the click of a lighter, smelled gasoline. No, no, no. She was going to burn me alive. -8, the escape. The unit went dark as smoke crawled along the ceiling. I stumbled backward, coughing violently. My eyes burned. The boxes were catching fast. Think, Emma, the boxes, the tools, storage units. Always have I kicked open another box. A rusted crowbar fell out. My hands were shaking, my lungs screaming, but I grabbed it and swung at the back wall. Metal clanged, pain shot up my arms. Again. The thin aluminum dented, cracked, finally tore open. Cold night air rushed in. I crawled through the gap, scraping my arms raw, and tumbled outside. Behind me, Unit 14B was engulfed in flames. Detective Dale was nowhere in sight. She must have run when she heard me break through, but she wouldn't run for long. Not from me. -9, the confrontation. The police sirens approached fast. Too fast. Dale had called it in. She was going to pin the fire on me too. No more running. I staggered toward the exit road when headlights blinded me. A police cruiser skidded to a stop. Detective Dale stepped out, gun drawn. "You just keep making this worse for yourself," she said, voice calm as ever. "Drop the crowbar." "No," I said. My voice was hoarse but steady. "Not this time." Her smile was thin, mocking. "You think anyone will believe you? You're a waitress, with debt, with a history of panic attacks. You're the perfect suspect. I have the evidence," I said quietly, "all of it. I photographed everything in the storage unit, the forged papers, the hammer, the documents with your signature." Her face twitched. "For the first time, you're lying." I lifted my phone and I backed it up automatically to the cloud. Her composure cracked. She lunged. A gunshot split the air. For a second, I didn't know who fired. Then Dale dropped to her knees, clutching her shoulder. Behind her, Officer Halbrook lowered his weapon. "Detective Dale," he said, voice shaking with betrayal, "you are under arrest." Dale screamed, "You idiots, she's framing me." But no one listened, not anymore. -10 justice. It's strange how quickly a town can turn from suspicion to sympathy. The next week was a blur. The police cleared me. The news praised Evan as a hero. Detective Dale's fraud scheme made national headlines. She'd stolen over $2 million from 12 elderly residents. She'd killed Evan to protect it, and she tried to kill me to bury it, but in the end, she failed. On the day she was transferred to county jail, she glared at me from the back of the transport van. "You should have stayed small, Emma." I met her eyes through the glass. "And you should have stayed honest." The door slammed shut, and just like that, the shadow over Maplewick began to lift. But the one in my heart, that one will take longer. I still walk past Mrs. Hargrove's driveway every day. I still hear the storm, still feel the cold skin of the man I loved, still see the necklace covered in blood. But I also remember how Evan lived brave, stubborn, kind. He didn't die for nothing. He helped bring a killer to justice. And I lived to tell his story.